if you can take the first exit on the roundabout, please. And if you can take the next left, please. And at the end of the road, if you can turn right, please. You have to be careful with this junction because lorries swinging wide. So if you see one turning into this road, you might have to stop further back to let them in. Equally, they may come up alongside on the right there and they want to turn into the road, and they'll try and get you to get out of the way if you've already pulled up at the junction by encouraging you to move out. But do make sure it is clear if that is the case. So second exit on the roundabout, please. And if you can remain in the left lane, and first exit on the roundabout, please. There's a big bump here. So following signs to Lowestoft, please. So following signs to Lowestoft is up for this junction. See, there is left on this signpost. This is a filter, so as you come down to it, you don't have to stop, but you do have to slow down, and you do have to make sure there is nobody doing anything crazy like trying to cut into this, because it does happen. You get lorries just swooping around that roundabout and they'll slice straight into this bit of road. see ahead that this section of road has now been reduced to a 50 limit as you come to the roundabout, and then beyond this roundabout. So you can see still following signs to Lowestoft. Still remains a 50 limit here. This is a reduced limit. It was national speed limits until not very long ago. So still following Lowestoft, which is the second exit on this roundabout. See on that side. So here we need the middle lane to go to the second exit on this one. Be careful to make sure you actually go into the correct part of the road when you get into this roundabout though, because the left lane splits off, so the middle lane becomes the left lane on the roundabout. So not going to follow Lowestoft any further. Now going to go towards Ipswich on that road side. Road's a 30 limit. 30 limits at the start of the road, and it's got street lights which are less than 200 yards apart. Therefore, it's a 30. bus lane there. Checking your mirrors. Still following the signs to Ipswich. You just saw the sign that, well, it was a sign a little way back that told you that the right lane was the one to go to the second exit. Which is why I'm in that. It has got some markings on it as well, but they're a bit faded. But there is a sign as well, so it's clear what lane you're supposed to use. So still following Ipswich on the road signs. So you can see it's shown as a second exit, which is slightly to the right on the sign. But actually, as you come up, you just saw the road sign that told you, and the lanes here. It's the right lane to go straight on. Now, it is sometimes beneficial to signal here. It depends on the situation. There's no one here, so I will signal left, but I didn't signal right. However, if it was beneficial, you would signal. So I checked mirrors, slowed down a little bit, didn't flash, didn't wave, just slowed down a little bit. That guy was already halfway out into the road. So I gave him the space to make his own decision. As I say, I didn't wave him out, I didn't flash him out, and you could see that he made his own decision on it. And the reason you don't wave people out is because then they feel encouraged and that it's necessary that they should pull out, and they perhaps won't do correct observations. They might miss something. There might be a motorbike coming past me, there might be a motorbike coming from the other direction. Essentially, it kind of forces people to pull out when they shouldn't. So if you want to let someone out and it's reasonable, so no stopping in the middle of a main road to let someone out randomly, but in that sort of situation it was reasonable for me to check my mirrors, lift off. He could see I'd slow down a little bit, and it allowed him to continue what had already started, because he was already most of the way out to the road anyway, and it was perfectly safe. So we're going to go left of this set of traffic lights. Coming towards us has somebody been taught how to drive on blue lights. That's blue light driver training. And you may ask to get pulled up on the left, so I'm going to ask myself, can I pull up on the left, please? Now on this road, quite often they'll ask you to pull up behind a parked car and then pull away from behind it. So perhaps that one. I won't do it on this occasion, but if they do, they'll specifically ask you to pull up, get as close as they want you to get, and it's called an angled start. So move off when you're ready. Yeah, nothing coming. you might get the pull up on the right, so I'm going to ask myself to do it, and ask myself to pull up just near that lamppost. And now I'm going to ask myself to reverse back a couple of car lengths, ignoring the driveways, but trying not to block one when I finish. So full check around, do the reverse back. Basically, when you do this, you need to make sure you're as straight as possible and in the most reasonable position possible, so that when you finish, you're in a reasonable position to the curb, as I am now. And I'm just going to say move off when you're ready. So now your observation is the opposite way around, checking over my left shoulder, indicate if necessary. I'm going to, because there's a car coming out of that junction. Yeah, so when you do a pull up on the right, just make sure you pull up nice and straight at good position to the curb. If you pull up at an angle, you've immediately got an issue, because now you've got to try and straighten the car. But you can see when you just do it, pull up nice and straight, it's really very easy manoeuvre. So watch out in a bit like this, because you might find someone reversing. Now, if you did what that car has just done to me on a driving test, you're going to get a serious fault. I just had to brake. Now it's trying to work out where I can stop. So that won't cause an obstruction. But yeah, so I mean, they just swung straight out of the junction in front of me, and I had to slow right down. That would constitute a serious fault. So if you can turn right at the end of the road. Still going to double check there's nothing coming, because the way those traffic lights are laid out, it does mean that something potentially, someone could run one of those traffic lights. One of the traffic lights might not be working. Could be something of blue lights coming through. Cyclists often ignore red lights, so they might just cycle through the whole thing. So in general, that sort of junction, just do need to double check. It's not as clear cut as saying, well, you're on a green light, you can drive straight through it. So you can see we're just going into a 50 limit now. So if you check the mirrors and speed up, although the cars in front haven't actually sped up at all. We're still doing 30 miles an hour. This used to be national speed limits as well. An awful lot of the roads that were once national speed limits have had the speed limit reduced, which unfortunately means that for the purposes of learning to drive and doing a driving test, it does reduce the ability to teach people. We're going to turn right at the end of the road here. Teach people how to speed up and slow down correctly, and it also means that you get less testing on faster roads, because the speed limits are reduced, which is a bad thing, to be honest, because people need to be tested to make sure they can actually drive on national speed limit roads properly, especially as country roads are dangerous. So this is a real tricky junction. Got to make sure. So there's a car coming from our right, and yeah, we're good. So it's a 50 limit, so you get yourself up to speed. Now you've got a bend coming up, you can see the sign, so you're just looking out, got the van turning. And this is what I say, so this sort of road tests your ability, and then we go to the 30 limit. past Vauxhall Stadium if you like to watch banger racing. Good fun. So again, this road you're just looking out, it's a tightish bend. It remains a 30 by way of the sign that we had back there. There's no street lights at this point, obviously. And then we come into this. So I'd ask myself, can I pull up on the left somewhere, please? Find somewhere safe. So you just need to find somewhere that's reasonable. So as you come up this, that would have been a reasonable spot potentially there. You can see there's a few sort of areas you can stop at. I'm personally going to stop just up here, so I check my mirrors, slow down, put my signal on and just pull up here. Plenty of space. And move off when you're ready. And then at the roundabout, take the first exit to the left, please. So I'm coming up to the roundabout, I can see what traffic's come from the other side. The van from my right is turning left, so I can drive straight into it. You examine the roundabout, makes it much simpler. So this road will just follow all the way to the end. Not much to note other than the fact here you have to move out, so check your mirrors in order to avoid the solid white line for the cycle route. So you're going to take what is the second exit on this roundabout, slightly marked to the left. Again, they've sort of fiddled with the road markings here. I'm going to use the left lane. If it was really busy, there's a potential to use the right. It's going straight on, but just in order to relieve the traffic, otherwise you wouldn't. So on this roundabout, if you can take the third exit, please. So you need to get your signal on quite early. The signage is incorrect. It says there's 2 lanes, and there aren't. You can see, again, it's another bit of road they've changed, but didn't bother changing the road sign. So it's 3 lanes. Again, I'm looking at the roundabout, examining it all the way from a distance as I come down to it. There's no one coming. Come round, left signal. And then as we come up to this section, this bit is a 30 limit nowadays. It's going to be the second exit on this roundabout. Take us back into the industrial estate. this one, and that takes you back. So straight up here, basically. You are back. There you go.